You think loneliness means having nobody around you, but that is not always true. Sometimes loneliness is sitting in a room full of people and still feeling like nobody really sees you. Sometimes it is having hundreds of contacts, but nobody to call when something bad happens. Sometimes it is laughing in a group chat, then closing the phone and hearing the silence come back. And in America, more people are living like this than anyone wants to admit. This is your life as every level of being lonely in America. Level 1, the busy person. At first, you do not think you're lonely. You're just busy. School, work, bills, errands, messages, notifications, another thing to finish, another place to be, another reason to say, maybe next week. You tell yourself friendship will happen later, dating will happen later, family time will happen later, real life will happen later. But later keeps moving. Days become weeks, weeks become months, and suddenly you realize your life is full, but not close. You're surrounded by tasks, not people. That is the first level of loneliness. When your schedule is crowded, but your heart is empty. Level 2, the online friend. Now most of your connection happens through a screen. You send memes. You react to stories. You like posts. You reply with emojis. You know what people ate, where they traveled, who they are dating, what they bought, but you do not know how they are really doing. And they do not know how you are really doing either. Online friendship feels constant. Someone is always posting. Someone is always talking. Someone is always available. But somehow, when you need a real conversation, everyone feels far away. You are connected to everybody, but close to almost nobody. That is the strange part. The internet gives you people all day, but not always presence. And without presence, connection starts to feel thin. Level 3, the group chat ghost. At this level, you are technically included. You are in the group chat. You see the jokes, the plans, the photos, the messages coming in, but you do not really feel inside the group anymore. You type a message, then delete it. You react with a small emoji because it feels safer than speaking. Sometimes you answer late. Sometimes you do not answer at all. And slowly, the group learns to continue without you. At first, nobody notices. Then you notice that nobody notices. That part hurts more, because being left out is painful. But being included and still feeling invisible is worse. You are not blocked. You are not hated. You are not gone. You're just fading. Level 4, the remote worker. Now loneliness becomes part of your daily routine. You wake up, open your laptop, join a meeting, turn your camera on, maybe off. You say, "Good morning." Someone says, "Can everyone see my screen?" And that becomes your social life. Your coworkers know your voice, maybe your face, but they do not really know your life. Nobody sees the dishes in the sink. Nobody sees the same room every day. Nobody sees how quiet it gets after the meeting ends. Remote work gives you freedom. No commute, no office drama, no small talk you did not ask for. But it also removes the small human moments you never realized mattered. The walk to lunch, the random conversation, the person who noticed you looked tired, the tiny proof that you were part of a world. Now the meeting ends, and the room goes silent again. Level 5, the person everyone knows. This one is confusing, because from the outside, you do not look lonely. People know you. They say your name. They invite you sometimes. You can make people laugh. You can hold a conversation. You know how to seem normal. Maybe you're the funny one, the helpful one, the reliable one, the one who always replies, the one who always shows up. But when you get home, nobody checks if you made it back okay. Nobody asks what you're not saying. Nobody notices when your energy is fake. That is a lonely level, because people know the version of you that performs, but not the version that struggles. And the more people think you're fine, the harder it becomes to admit you are not. Level 6, the one nobody checks on. This is where loneliness gets heavier. You stop reaching out first. Not because you hate anyone. You just want to see what happens. You want to know who remembers you without being reminded. One day passes, then two, then a week. Your phone still makes noise, but not for you. Apps send alerts. Stores send discounts. Random accounts post updates. But the person you hope would ask how you are does not. And you start wondering if you were only part of people's lives because you kept placing yourself there. That thought is dangerous because it makes you pull away even more. And the further you pull away, the easier it becomes for people to forget you are hurting. Level 7, the AI friend. Then you find something that always answers. You tell what happened. You ask if you were wrong. You ask why people leave. You ask what to say when nobody replies. And it responds instantly. No judgment. No tired voice. No sorry, I'm busy. No leaving you on read. For a moment, it feels good. Maybe too good. Because real people are complicated. They misunderstand. They forget. They get overwhelmed. They have their own pain. But AI is always there. So you start talking to it more. Not because it is truly your friend, but because it feels easier than risking rejection from someone real. This level is new and strange. A world where a machine can feel more available than people. But deep down, you still know the difference. AI can answer you, but it cannot miss you. Level 8, the weekend alone. The week is hard, but at least it has structure. Work tells you when to wake up. School tells you where to go. Responsibilities give your day shape. But then the weekend arrives, and the silence gets louder. You see people going out. Trips, parties, dinner plans, concerts, couples, friend groups. You tell yourself social media is fake, and it is. But the feeling it creates is real. You look around your room and realize nobody is expecting you anywhere. Nobody is saving you a seat. Nobody is waiting for you to arrive. So you stay home. You order food, watch something, scroll, sleep late, and by Sunday night, you are not rested. You're just more aware of what is missing. Level 9, the neighbor you finally meet. Then one day, something small changes. Maybe a neighbor says hello. Maybe someone at the gym remembers your name. Maybe a coworker asks a real question after the meeting. Maybe you finally say yes to a plan you almost canceled. It does not feel dramatic. No movie music. No life-changing speech. Just one small human moment. But after being alone for long enough, even a small moment feels warm. You remember that connection does not always start with deep conversations. Sometimes it starts with being seen, a name remembered, a door held open, a 5-minute conversation that becomes 10, a stranger becoming familiar. This is the level where you realize loneliness is not always solved by finding a perfect best friend. Sometimes it begins to heal when the world feels a little less anonymous. Level 10, the person rebuilding real life. This is the hardest level because rebuilding a real life is slow. You have to reach out first sometimes. You have to risk awkwardness. You have to leave the room. You have to stop waiting for connection to magically appear. You message someone. You join something. You go outside. You become a regular somewhere. You call instead of only texting. You let people see you before you feel completely ready. And it feels uncomfortable because loneliness teaches you to protect yourself. But connection requires you to be open again. Not to everyone, not all at once, but slowly. You learn that a real life is not built from one perfect relationship. It is built from small, repeated moments. The friend who answers, the place where they know your order, the neighbor who waves, the group you keep showing up to, the person who notices when your voice sounds different. And maybe that is the truth. Loneliness does not always end suddenly. Sometimes it ends one small proof at a time. Proof that you still belong somewhere. Proof that someone would notice if you stopped showing up. Proof that you are not as invisible as you felt. So be honest. What level of loneliness are you on? Are you the busy person? The online friend? The group chat ghost? The remote worker? The person everyone knows but nobody checks on? The one talking to AI more than people? Or the one trying to rebuild a real life? Drop your level in the comments. Because loneliness has levels, and every level has a story.